Hello friends, welcome to Department of Plant Pathology, KDSP Agriculture College Nasik. In today's lecture, we are going to cover all the diseases of chili, their causal organisms, symptomatology and their management. In chili, the most important disease is dieback of chili. It is also called as fruit rot of chili. Dieback of chili or fruit rot of chili caused due to Colitrichum capsaicii. This is one of the fungal pathogen. It, according to the Ainsworth et al., it comes under class Dryomycete or Dryomycotina, order Melanchoniales and family Melanoconaceae. So this disease was first reported from South India by Macquarie in 1914, and it is widely distributed disease, occurs all over the world. And severity of this disease, that means it can cause 30% in losses after the infection. So this is a very important disease. You can see the symptoms of this dieback disease. Initially necrotic or necrosis like symptoms were developed by this pathogen. Initial infection of this disease starts from flowering stage, and premature flower drying was occurred due to the infection in that flowering stage. Then drying spreads to flower stalk, stem, branches all over the plant and twigs also. Withering of twigs, stalks, branches and stem is the key symptoms of this dieback of chili. Dead twigs become brownish and straw color. Then blackish color dots were developed, as you can see in this image. In left side there is the chili rotted due to this Colitrichum pathogen, and in that portion there are black dots, and in that black dots there are so many acerulae. Acerulae is the fruiting structure produced by this Colitrichum pathogen, and in that acerulae so many Setae and Conidia were present, and these are serving as a reservoir host for this inoculum. This acerulae can be seen or it can be scattered on necrotic surfaces. Partially affected plants bear few fruits which are very low in quality. So these are green on fruits. It shows small circular black color spots appearing, ripening of the skin like symptoms, which spread in direction of long axis. Infected fruit becomes straw color. Then discoloration of the numerous black color acerulae were found in that tissues. The seed in the infected fruits turn rusty, deform, white in color, and it loses pungency and viability. Infected area on fruit become depressed and wrinkled. So we can easily identify that there is the infection of this Colitrichum species or fruit rot disease. These are few examples or few symptoms of this Colitrichum infection. Here is the typical acerulus present inside the rotted tissues, so that we can easily identify it. This disease is a seed-borne disease, and it causes infection to all the plant parts. Similarly, infected plant debris containing mycelium or some acerulus serves as a primary source of infection, and secondary source of infection is by airborne Conidia, which may move from infected chili to healthy chili by air currents or by rain splashes. Then temperature range, that is 30 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius, is most favorable for development of this disease, and relative humidity is also quite positive for development of this disease. Now for management of this fruit rot, we have to cut all infected chilies or infected branches and destroy it outside the field. It's the only control. Then for avoiding the infection of this disease, we can do seed treatment with Thyram or Captan at the rate of 2 gram per kg is found effective for controlling this disease. Then after the emergence of disease, we can spray some fungicides like copper oxychloride, Captan, then propiconazole. These are some recommended fungicide were effective for controlling this disease. Then 3 sprays are recommended. First should be at before flowering, second should be at the fruit formation stage, and third one should be done at 15 days after the second spray. So in that way we can control this disease in effective manner. Now the next disease is leaf curl of chili. Leaf curl of chili caused due to viral pathogen, that is Nicotiana virus strain, or it is also known as tobacco leaf curl virus. You can see the symptoms of this leaf curl pathogen, leaf curl disease. Young leaves become folded upward, showing a boat-like structure is the particular marks of identification of this leaf curl. Then other common symptoms of chlorosis, reduction in chlorophyll pigment, venal chlorosis, reduction in leaf size, shortening of internode, stunted growth, unproductive growth. These are some major or common symptoms of viral disease attack. These are happening in this leaf curl disease. And the most important point is this disease is transmitted through white fly. So for management of this disease we have to control only white fly. We cannot control it by spraying with any another fungicide or bactericide. We can only control this vector so that we can stop the transmission of this disease from infected chili to healthy chili. So the name of that white fly is Bemisia tabaci, and these white fly are responsible for transmission of this disease. So that's about leaf curl disease of chili. Then next disease is Alternaria blight of chili. Alternaria blight of chili is caused due to Alternaria solani, and we have studied all its symptomatology, its primary infection, secondary infection, and management in earlier disease of potato. In potato, I already told that Alternaria blight is a common disease of all this solanaceous crop. So this pathogen is common, and symptoms were also common, and management practices were also same as we have studied in earlier. So we will move on to the next disease, that is damping off of chili. Damping off of chili is caused due to Pythium aphanidermatum, and it comes under class Oomycetes, under order Peronosporales and family Pythiaceae. Under Pythiaceae there is the genus Pythium and Phytophthora. These are two genus involved in this damping off. In Pythium infection, it causes two types of damping off. First is post-emergence damping off, and second one is first one is called as pre-emergence damping off, and second one is called as post-emergence damping off. Pre-emergence damping off causes damping off in young seedlings are present inside the nursery. Germinating young seedlings are killed before the emergence of the crop, and in post-emergence damping off it affects all the seedlings and it becomes pale green in color. Brownish water soaked lesions were developed on the basal portion of the stem. Then stem girdling is also found in severe infection at collar region, and all the seedlings at where infection is caused at near the neck region, all such infected seedlings collapse down, and so that it will directly affect the yield of the crop, or the plants become wilted or dried due to the infection in this damping off. This disease starts in patches in nursery. Within 3 to 4 days, whole bed and all the crops were died due to the infection by this damping off pathogen. This fungi is a soil borne, and it consists of oospore. These are resting spore, served as a resting spore, and it can tolerate to the adverse climatic condition. And after the germination of this oospore, it causes infection to the crop. And secondary infection takes place through sporangia and zoospore, which are moved through irrigation water or rainwater. These are some points that we have to study. Then some favorable conditions like humidity more than 90% or 90 to 95% is very favorable for development of this disease. Then high moisture content in soil, water stagnation in field, optimum temperature 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, overcrowding of seedlings, and ill drain or no proper water drainage facilities or aeration. These are some key factors that makes vulnerable to attack of this disease. For management of this damping off, soil solarization of nursery beds should be essential, and it should be done with 100 gauge LDDPP low linear density polythene paper, and all treatment or all care should be taken while preparing the nursery beds. Then use raised beds in nursery, avoid overcrowding, use proper drainage facilities or proper aeration should be maintained during this nursery cultivation. Then steam sterilization is the technique that we can use for sterilization of all the soil which is used for nursery bed preparation. Then soil drenching is the common practice. Soil drenching should be done by using fungicides like propiconazole, or you can also use copper oxychloride at the rate of 0.225%, and it should be repeated at 10 to 12 days interval, so that there is a mycelium which were present inside the soil will be killed due to the drenching of this fungicide. Similarly, redomil drenching is also quite effective for controlling this damping of disease. So in that way we can control this disease in very effective manner. That's all about diseases of chili and their management. Thanks for watching this video.